Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kamel, Greene, CEO of Poly Platform, and as you guys know, every Thursday we have a Thursday Thoughts coming right at you. And today we have my good friend Jeff Butler. What we typically do, just to give you guys a rundown, is we interview someone who works within the public or private sector. We want to know what gets them engaged. We are an engagement platform, and today with Jeff, we want to know who he is, what does he do. So Jeff, who are you?
Thanks so much, Kamel.
Yep.
Happy to be here. I am part of the Pleasant Grove Planning Commission, so I'm a planning commissioner on the municipal side. I've been doing that for about 3 years now, and we serve the community by helping builders, planners, the city, grow and develop in building and developing.
Okay, awesome. So again, Planning Commissioner of Pleasant Grove. This is a city in Utah, and I understand that's part-time, right? So what do you do full-time? Because and that's a lot of things, but what do you do full-time? Can you tell us a little bit?
That's a good question. Full-time, I'm a regional director for Cost Segregation Authority. That's the name of the company. So we help building owners, commercial and residential, take advantage of the tax code opportunities that they have to depreciate their assets, take advantage of the tax code legally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. This is the second time we've had someone up here, or actually the fourth time we've had someone who worked within the municipal space, and they always do a lot of different things. My first question, or third question to you is, what made you get into the municipal space? Why would you want to go and do something like that? You're already doing your full-time job. Why? What
was it? We're already in 2021, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been 2018. There were the municipal elections, and so I was approached by one of my good friends and said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you throw your hat in the ring for a city council?" And so I was like, "Okay." I studied political science back in college. Within Pleasant Grove, it's a unique city because there's the city center, and then it grows away from the city center. And so we're on kind of the northwest side of the city, and so there's different things that we deal with and we're concerned with than the city center, or even on the East Bench side of the city. And so at the time I was like, I might as well do it. Well, I was able to get a few votes. I got my hat into the ring a little bit late. I didn't get put on the planning commission, but I realized that there was an opportunity to serve in the planning commission, or city council planning commission.
Right.
And so that is appointed by the mayor. And so I was able to be appointed by the mayor, and I've been doing that ever since. And the opportunity to try to get my finger on the pulse, and to help the city but just, if there's a development that's coming along, is it something that's good for the city? Because there's unique challenges for each city that's in Utah County. And our city has dealt historically with some unique challenges when it comes to tax base, when it comes to growth, housing, development, commercial properties and stuff. And so it's really interesting having that front line with those projects.
Right. And you touch on kind of having that frontline understanding with those projects. And I can distinctly remember this summer, we had the social climate, and you reached out to me and said, "Hey, Kamel, I want to meet with you, talk with you." And we talked a little bit about some stuff, and even how within the planning commission you can kind of see, better understand, not just within Utah, but how things can look from an infrastructure standpoint. And so again, this is Thursday Thoughts. We like to get kind of deeper and look into that. Can you elaborate a little bit on the importance on city planning, the importance on what a planning commission is within a city, and how it can help individuals, how people who live within cities, how they can be more active and actually improve or better their community?
Oh, wow. The typical scenario where we get the public involved is a developer. He wants to develop a plot of land, be it commercial or residential. And so the neighbors around the area, they get a flyer, okay? And the flyer says, oh, there's a meeting that's going to be happening this Thursday night, 7 o'clock at the city building. Feel free to come and voice your opinions.
Right.
Well, quite frequently, those flyers, they may get lost, they may get ignored. There's a deadline that needs to happen, so they need to be on those doors in a certain time frame so
Right.
that they will know about it and can come. Well, neighbors, they have events. They have other things that they cannot get away from. And so they express their displeasure, saying, hey, we didn't know about it. How come we weren't notified? This isn't fair. We want to voice our opinion.
Right.
And a lot of times the citizens, they don't really realize the avenues that they have to be able to express and voice their concerns, be it, I don't want a commercial building in my neighborhood, or I don't want this project in my neighborhood. I want this, I want that. And so it's been really interesting to see the detachment of the citizens, unless it affects me immediately. I would love it if more citizens were to participate and to really express what they feel, what they like, what they don't like within the community, so that we have a better idea of what projects that come to the city planner, and we can get a good idea of, okay, this is something that would be feasible for the city.
Right.
I hope that kind of makes sense. I
No, for
wish
sure.
that there was more engagement versus, I got the flyer, I'm mad about the project, I want to come and yell at you.
The immediacy of it.
Exactly.
And believe it or not, when we met over the summer, you actually voiced that sentiment to me. And at the time, within Poly Platform, we didn't have a polling function. We didn't have a survey function. And to make things more accessible, right? Sometimes, maybe a meeting is at 7 p.m., maybe it's at 6:30 p.m., but sometimes people can't make it. And so what we wanted to deploy where administration can better engage with their constituents, with residents within the city. And so that is one of the features we do have with Poly, is where you can engage, you can send out those polls and surveys. And I want to say that your sentiment was actually instrumental to us getting that in there.
That's awesome.
So I appreciate that. But moreover, I think you touched on that really well. I kind of want to get deeper into, you went to BYU, you studied political science.
Yes.
When did we meet?
We met at a networking event, business networking event. It was, I think, 1 Million Cups.
Yep.
And it was actually, I think, one of your first iterations of Mesh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the name of it was. And so when you and your team presented Mesh, just recognizing the need for it really struck a chord with me, because at the time that you presented that, I think it was maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I can't exactly remember.
About 3,
It was a while, but I recognized in my own personal life the need for connection and how easy it is for people to be alone and not know that somebody, half a block away, they have the same feelings, they have the same interests, and yet I'm not going to go on Facebook and search out, because Facebook is worldwide. What kind of, I don't want to throw Facebook under the bus or anything like that, but just having that community connection really resonated with me at that time. And so I really wanted to sit down and get to know more about what you were doing and what your end game was, because it really touched me to the core. Right.
And so, and this is why I enjoy talking to you, because you always bring me right back to the why, the Simon Sinek. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And I can distinctly remember when we met, we sat down, I think it was in front of an Einstein Bagels in Provo, Utah, and you really helped me center myself. You helped me really say, hey, Kamel, I was saying, look, everything is crazy right now. I have to try to do this. I have to try to do that. And I forgot, you coined it, because I talked to you not too long ago. There was a word for it where you sit down and you can kind of plan things out. What'd you call that?
Oh, goodness. What? I don't do a
I'm
good
throwing
job.
you on the spot now.
Yes.
However, what it was really just sitting down and planning out your week ahead of time. Keeping a center focus as to what you want to do and where you want to go and how you want to go about it. But kind of going back towards our initial premise with Mesh at the time, and really connecting with like-minded people, being able to connect within your community, because you might not know what you don't know, and someone just down the block or just in the next class, you guys can have similar interests. And so we're still doing that within, universities and schools and stuff like that, and we want to keep doing that. However, there's one thing that you touched on, I think, with this current, not just climate, but we're in a pandemic, there's so much stuff going on. What do you do to, stay in the now, to stay, centered, to stay grounded? What are some of the tools? What are some things that you can tell people? Because as we know, we all struggle at certain times. So what do you do, Jeff?
Mindfulness is a buzzword, and meditation. And I like to say that I'm really good at that.
Right.
But what I really do, and what I try to do a lot of, is make really personal connections. When we're in this state of being socially distanced, physically distanced, I don't like saying socially distanced personally.
Right. Yeah.
It's just the physical distance that we have to worry about. Socially, we can be connected. And that's what we are all craving, a social connection,
Right.
Connectivity to people that I thoroughly enjoy visiting with you, because you ground me too, and help me remember things that I was learning at that time and I was trying to live at that time. We're always evolving and changing, and sometimes we forget about things that were really beneficial for us 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, or whatever. But what am I doing now is really trying to connect one-on-one and have personal connections, not just a bunch of people, but genuine connections. Because when you know the heart of the person, when you can talk face to face with somebody, even if it is with a mask, seeing your eyes,
Right.
seeing into your soul, so to speak, that is golden.
Right.
That is just so awesome, so amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've really tried to do is maintain solid connections.
And I think you touched on it, the intentionality in doing that. Of when you are connecting, or you're trying to connect with people, being intentional about it. And I think that can lead into more genuine interactions with people.
Sorry if I jump in,
Yeah.
but when you came and sat down with me and my family, in my mind I had kind of a general direction that I thought the conversation would go.
Yeah.
And it didn't go that direction because we were just talking. We were just, what is your opinion about this? How do you feel about this? And having you be able to express and just say, this is who I am, this is what I believe and stuff. It didn't blow up my narrative, so to speak, but it just enhanced and expanded upon what I was thinking that I understood about the current situation, the undercurrent of society, and movement of Black Lives Matter, et cetera, and so forth. And so that kind of opportunity to have free and open dialogue without prejudice, and just say, hey, I'm in this position. I want to know where your position is. Sincerely.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's always beautiful having conversations with you, right? And so, again, Poly Engagement Platform, you do so many different things. You talked about mindfulness. Any, more tactical things that people can do to try to stay engaged, and not even just engage just in life, but engage with, maybe the tasks that they have at hand. What is that? What are some ways that we can do that?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot there.
Yeah.
I would say on the day-to-day basis in the morning, one thing that I try to do is, I'm not as busy as you are, so I have a little bit more time.
You are. You are.
So I make a point to try to ground myself in the morning and to set out and say, okay, I have certain things that I want to do. My favorite time of the day, honestly, is the morning. So where I have time to just be at exercise for some time, listen to something that's inspirational, be it spiritually, motivationally. Those are the two things that I like to do, is either motivational or spiritual. And then throughout, when I actually get into the office and stuff, I do keep to tasks.
Right.
But in the back of my mind, it's like I want to be able to continue to talk to people and reach out and visit with people. That's what really motivates me, is being able to have that interaction with people. That really, really drives me. And when I don't have that, and I think we mentioned when we talked a couple of weeks ago that the conversation with you helped me realize how much I have missed that opportunity to just sit down and talk with people and find out who they are and see if there's something that I can bring to the table for them, be it an introduction to somebody, be it words of inspiration, not that I have much of anything, but just something to add to their life. That really helps me be engaged and get through my day feeling fulfilled to some degree.
And that fulfillment is important.
Yes.
So Jeff Butler, you're, planning commissioner, Pleasant Grove. You have a full day job. You have a whole family. You manage to speak with me from time to time and give me words of wisdom, words of advice. What is your goal? Where do you see yourself within the next 5 years? And a lot of times we ask younger people, when I say younger people, maybe people my age, however, whatever that is. But where do you see yourself? What do you think?
I appreciate that question that you asked, sent to me a couple of days ago, and I've been thinking about that. Where do I see myself? More involved in helping individuals one by one, one-on-one. So in 5 years, I want to be able to have a tangible impact on more people, be it interpersonal, be it, I don't want to say social media or anything like, well, yeah, I can say that, but I want to be able to say, yeah, I helped them.
Right.
With whatever it is. Or I don't want to say that, yes, I helped them succeed at whatever, but just knowing that they can come back to me and say, hey, thank you.
Right.
Honestly, that's what I want to be able to do for more people.
Yeah.
Because people aren't a commodity. And so much of the world today is commoditized. It's just a dollar figure on this person, a dollar figure on that person. What do they bring to the table monetarily? Fine. That's great. That's good and all in that vein.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to you, a lot more to me, and a lot more to all of us as individuals, as creators, as supporters, as brothers and sons and fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers, just men and women alike. There's so much more that we can bring to the table, and I want to help people understand that there is so much more to them than, the pocketbook.
Wow, Jeff, every time I meet with you, it's always it's way more than what I expect. You are a light. You're genuinely a light. And I appreciate that. And so this is Thursday Thoughts, right? We want to get deeper. This is not just me asking you questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Man, you asked me the question, where do you see me, or where do I see me in 5 years? What kind of impact do you want to have in the next 5 years?
Wow. Usually I'm the one asking the questions. You hit me with that one. So in the next 5 years, and as you know, I tried to break it down. Everything that I try to do has to be strategic in nature. And so, as you know, I kind of, I want to focus on things from the political side, from the legislative side, governmental, et cetera, at the same time from an economic standpoint. And so, we have poly and not only just economic, but also the intentionality of what we spoke on, of people actually having genuine interaction, genuine relationships, because psychology, economics, everything matters. And so, a lot of times I find myself trying to do too much. But sometimes I feel like that's all I can do. I feel like I'm a vessel of the Lord, and I'm trying to, do whatever calling He has set for me. And so when you ask me that question in the next 5 years, where I will want to be in the next 5 years, is I want to be in a position where I can help people who didn't have the opportunities that I have, or the privilege that I've had. I've come from an environment where I know I was not the smartest person. I was simply blessed. And so it is my duty to try to help facilitate those opportunities that were afforded to me to others. And so the way that I want to do that is, one, let people know that what I'm doing as far as, CEO of a tech company is possible, right? It's possible. From a legislative side, I want policies and legislations to be more representative of people. And then for not only being representative, but for more people who are creating that legislation, those policies, to be, a representative board, so that policies can actually support a lot more people. And so, in short now, I want to be in a position where Poly is doing its job. It's actually creating those relationships, those genuine interactions with people from the municipal side, from schools, from companies. But at the same time, I want to find myself in more of a political capacity so that I can try to advance or enhance current legislation as well.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And I know that you'll get there.
Yeah, God willing.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you. Thursday Thoughts, I feel like they get better and better, so stay tuned every Thursday. And Jeff, man, I'm serious. You are a light, and I thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kamel. Thank
You guys have a good one. Peace out.